What if the dustiest teacup in your cabinet, the one that has not been lifted from its saucer since the last time your mother set the good table, is quietly worth more than the china set you have been protecting behind glass for 30 years? 10 overlooked teacups have sold for hundreds, some for thousands, and the one most likely sitting in your own kitchen is waiting at number 1. Let us find out if it is yours. Here is the truth about a teacup you have not touched in a decade. You stopped seeing it the day it became part of the shelf. It went from an object to scenery, something your eye slides past on the way to the coffee maker every morning. And scenery does not get appraised. In 20 years of buying estate collections, I have watched families box up entire china cabinets and leave them on the donation table for $1. Not because they were careless, but because someone once told them, old cups are just old cups. They were wrong. The mark painted under the glaze, the way the gold catches the lamp, whether the cup still sits on its original saucer, those details are deciding the value of what hides in your cabinet, and the thrift store counter will never explain them. Number 10. A teacup marked Made in Occupied Japan. A small floral cup with a gold rim and a mark on the base that reads like a footnote from a history class. It looks like a cheap souvenir. Fair enough. Most of them are modest. But that mark was required by law during the American occupation of Japan from 1945 to 1952, only 7 years, and when the occupation ended, the mark disappeared forever. Cups carrying the full words "Made in Occupied Japan" in good condition with their matching saucers sell from $20 to over $150, depending on the maker and the quality of the painting. Here is your test tonight. Turn the cup over and read the mark exactly. If it says Occupied Japan, you are holding a 7-year window. If it says simply Made in Japan, the piece was made before or after the occupation, and the premium is gone. The mark is not a curiosity. It is a date range that collectors pay to own. I have watched a matched set of 6 leave an estate sale in a bag marked free because the family thought they were cheap imports. Number 9. Number 9. A teacup with a strange iridescent shimmer, pink, copper, or gold. The surface catches the light like an oil slick on water. It looks gaudy and cheap. That instinct makes sense, but pick it up. Lusterware has been made since the early 1800s by English potteries in Sunderland and Staffordshire, and the technique involves applying a thin metallic film to the glazed surface before a second firing. Early 19th century English pink lusterware cups, with hand-painted reserves, sell from $80 to over $300 depending on age and condition. Here is the tell. Hold the cup to a window. Genuine early luster has a warm, slightly uneven shimmer with variation in the metallic sheen. A modern reproduction shines too evenly and too brightly. Then read the base. An absence of any mark on early lusterware is actually normal and does not mean the piece is worthless. It often means it is old enough to predate routine marking. Number 8. Number 8. A teacup in bold, almost garish colors. Bright orange, hard geometric shapes, blocks of yellow and blue painted by hand in a style your daughter would call ugly. Here is what ugly is hiding. That cup may be the work of Clarice Cliff, the most influential ceramics designer of the Art Deco era, whose hand-painted bizarreware turned the grey Staffordshire potteries into a showcase for some of the most collected tableware on earth. A 15-piece Clarice Cliff Blue Autumn coffee set, in the Linton shape, sold for £1,400 in November 2023. Individual cups in rare patterns bring £50 to £500. Here is your test. Turn the cup over and look for the words Hand-Painted Bizarre by Clarice Cliff, printed in black on the base. The word bizarre is the brand name, not a description. If you find it, do not let the colors fool you. The garish ones are the money. I have watched a Clarice Cliff conical cup get donated because the family thought the angular handle was a factory defect. The handle was the signature. Number 7. Number 7, and here I have to slow you down because this is the most common mistake I see. A teacup with a floral pattern and a gold rim, the kind that lives in every china cabinet in America. Your heart tells you it must be worth something because your grandmother treasured it. Here is the honest truth, and I respect you too much to dress it up. Most floral teacups with gold trim sell for $5 to $20. They were produced by the tens of millions by factories across England and Japan, and most of them survive in perfectly good condition. The gold rim is not a value signal, it is a finish. Abundance killed the premium. The value hides in specific makers, specific patterns, and specific marks within that sea of floral gold. And the only way to find it is to turn the cup over. Number 6. Number 6. A teacup in deep cobalt blue with a hand-painted scene and heavy gilding. It looks ornate, almost royal, the kind of thing you assume is either priceless or a reproduction. Here is the name that settles it. Sèvres. The royal porcelain manufactory of France, founded in 1756 under the patronage of Louis XV. Genuine Sèvres porcelain is among the most valuable European ceramics ever made. A Sèvres cobalt teacup with hand-painted figural scenes and heavy gilt-work can bring hundreds to thousands, depending on the period and the painter's mark. Your test. Look for the interlaced double L on the base, the royal cipher of Sèvres, painted in blue. Then look for a small letter or symbol between or below the letters. That secondary mark identifies the year and sometimes the specific painter, but I owe you the honest caveat. Sèvres is one of the most copied marks in porcelain history. The mark alone does not prove the cup is genuine. The quality of the painting and the translucency of the paste are what a specialist reads. Before we get to the top 5, there is something about all of this that most people never stop to see. The cups that turn out to be worth real money almost never look expensive. They sit at the back of the cabinet, in estate sale box lots, on the 50-cent shelf at the thrift store, precisely because their owners decided they were old-fashioned and moved on. Appearance keeps lying to people. What actually decides value is a small set of signals you can learn in an evening. The maker's mark, the way the decoration was applied, the shape of the cup, the condition of the gold, whether the saucer survived. Those are the signals I gathered into a guide called the Appraiser's Playbook. So you can read a cup before someone across the table reads it for you. It is linked below if you want it. Now back to the rankings. Number 5, and here the numbers climb hard. A blue and white teacup with hand-painted scenes. It looks like every other blue and white cup in the world. Here is what the world missed. Meissen has been producing porcelain since 1710, making it the oldest porcelain manufactory in Europe. A Meissen armorial tea and coffee service sold at Sotheby's for over $1.3 million. Entry-level Meissen teacups start around $200 to $800. But Meissen's crossed swords mark is also the most copied ceramic mark in history. Here is the tell that separates a fortune from a fake. The genuine crossed swords are painted in underglaze blue, meaning they sit beneath the clear glaze. Run your fingertip across the mark. If it is smooth and you cannot feel it, the swords may be genuine. If the mark sits on the surface and feels raised, it was painted on after firing, and the cup is almost certainly a copy. One pass of your thumb. Number 4. Number 4, and this is the cup the dealers hope you never learn to read. A thin blue and white teacup that looks like a cheap import. But Chinese export porcelain from the 18th century is one of the most undervalued categories in American estates because it looks exactly like the modern reproductions sitting beside it. A Chinese Falangcai bowl, measuring less than 5 inches across, sold at Sotheby's in 2023 for $25 million. It had been purchased in 1929 for about £150. I will not pretend most Chinese cups are worth that. But genuine 18th century Chinese export porcelain, the kind American families brought home in the 1800s, routinely sells for hundreds to thousands. The test is the paste. Hold the cup to a strong light. Genuine old Chinese porcelain has a warm, slightly blue-grey translucency. Modern copies glow a flat, bright white. And the painting on old export ware has a softness and depth that a printed transfer can never match. Number 3. Number 3. And this is the one that quietly destroys more value than any single cup on this list. The dishwasher. Here is the honest figure. One chip on the rim of a fine porcelain cup can drop the value by half. But the damage most people never see is what the dishwasher does to the gold. That gilded band around the rim, the one that looked bright when the set was new, has been stripped wash after wash for 30 years. Once the gilt is gone, it does not come back. Your test tonight. Hold the cup under a lamp and tilt it slowly. If the gold still flashes with a warm metallic light, the gilding is intact. If it looks flat and dull, the dishwasher has quietly done its work. Intact original gilding is one of the first things a dealer checks, and one of the last things an owner protects. Number 2. Number 2, and this is the one that quietly costs families the most money of all. The saucer. A beautiful cup on its own is worth a fraction of the same cup sitting on its matching saucer. Collectors want the pair. A lone cup, however lovely, reads as an orphan. Here is what almost nobody checks. Set the cup on the saucer and compare the two back stamps side by side. The pattern number should match. The gold should be faded to the same degree. A saucer that fits but does not truly match is a marriage, 2 pieces put together later, and it drags the price right back down. In 20 years, I have watched more money lost to a broken-up set than to any forgery. Someone kept the pretty cup and sold the plain saucer for $1 and halved the real value with their own hands. Number 1. Number 1, and it is almost certainly a cup you already own or your mother did. The plain white teacup with a gold band. It sits in every china cabinet in America. No flowers, no pattern, just a clean white body and a thin rim of gold. Your daughters call it boring. You have half believed them. Here is the truth. A plain white and gold cup can be Lenox, the great American china house, where a single teacup in a discontinued pattern lists for $40 to $120. It can be Royal Doulton or Minton, where the same quiet cup carries an English backstamp worth real money. Or it can be an unmarked import worth $2. The cup looks identical in every case. The only difference is 6 letters on the base. So here is the habit every cup on this list was teaching you. Turn it over. Read the mark. Check the gold. Find the saucer. That is the whole skill, and now it is yours. So before you clear out a single shelf, before you let anyone tell you the old cups are just old cups, before you accept the first number a dealer writes on a napkin, turn every cup over and read the bottom. The face of the cup is the story people told you. The mark on the base is the truth. If this made you want to walk straight to your cabinet and start turning cups upside down, do me one small thing and like the video. It tells me to keep making these. Subscribe if you want to walk through your whole house this way, one shelf at a time, because that is exactly what we do here. And tell me in the comments, what is the oldest cup in your house and who did it come from? I read every single one. Do not sell a single cup before you read the bottom.